Hey friends, I am back. I know it seems like it's been forever, and it has. Happy New Year. I am so glad to be here and to be back with you. Um, I'm going to make a commitment that I'll be back at least once a week now because I want to make sure that we stay connected and that we are working together to improve our quality of life and to really live life abundantly. The background that I chose is the beautiful Atlanta Beltline. It's a multi-million dollar project for the city of Atlanta to get Atlantans out and enjoying life and back to nature. And it's such a beautiful project and just a fun place to be and just enjoying the nature and scenery and people. Just amazing. So if you're ever in Atlanta, definitely stop by the Beltline. It is accessible and it is fun for all. One of the murals is behind me. Atlanta has a lot of murals, just wonderful murals all over the city, and definitely something that are must-sees if you're in town. And I hope that you will be in town, especially at one of our Juicy Peaches events. I hope that this year is off to a great start for you. I hope that you decided to set some goals, some things that you wanted to do to improve your quality of life, and that you're actively pursuing those goals. I want you to achieve yours just like I'm working hard to achieve mine. I have some things that I'm definitely going to do, some things that I'm not going to do anymore, and some things that are on my radar that I may want to do, and then I'm just researching a little more. But one of the things I'm definitely going to do is to stay connected to you here, is to build our footprint for Juicy Peaches a little bit more on social media so that I can get our message across. I'm on a mission. I want to see us out. I want to see us living life. I want to make sure that I can knock down as many barriers that are stopping us from getting out and enjoying life, and just make sure that I'm connecting with you. And I'm going to do that by every means necessary. I still work a bunch of hours, so that hasn't changed. Still working 50, 60 hours a week, but I'm going to tell you something. I am going to make this commitment no matter what. So you're going to get sick of seeing my face? Oh, well, deal with it, y'all. But I'm going to be here and I'm going to make sure that we are doing some fun stuff. And so as the weather gets warmer, the sky is lighter, more hours of the day now, it's time for us to get out. It's time for hot girl summer to begin, baby. I'm all about a hot girl summer, and you don't have to be skinny to have a hot girl summer. Hell, I'm having some hot girl winters around these pods. I'm out there, and I want you to be out there too. So I came today just to talk about a few things. On our last video, if you haven't seen it, check out the last video with me and Mikhail and Shataka and Priscilla. We talked about some of the challenges we face just living life abundantly in these supersized bodies. And a lot of those are challenges that all of you think about, or you know somebody that has those challenges that may just be suffering in silence. They are trying to figure out if they could go out. When they get there, are the seats going to be able to hold them? Are they going to be able to walk from wherever the parking is to where the venue is? Is there going to be just a way for them to get out once they've gotten in? So those are things that we all take into consideration when you're living in a supersized body, but those are also things that keep us in. And I want to make sure that I am sharing some of my tips and things that work for me as I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to be going to an event or to a venue. These are things that I think of. And what I've learned over time, especially since starting Juicy Peaches, is that I'm not alone. Is that these are things that you're thinking of too, that you're wondering about, that you're unsure about, and things that you're saying, well, I don't know. I think I'm going to stay home this time. And so then you're watching it on Facebook or Instagram or one of the social medias, or you living vicariously through others, but you're not really having a quality of life, a true quality, because you're not experiencing all of these ups and downs. And every time you get out, it's not going to be a great time. You're not going to have a fun time. Sometimes it's just okay. But it was good because I got out, because I pushed my body, because I saw something different, or because I had the experience to tell. This is a story I'm never going to forget, and one I'm never going to stop telling. And those things are important too. Those are quality of life things. I see with this background, I'm disappearing a little bit in it. I'm sorry, y'all. Just enjoy the holographic me that you see on the screen. But these are some of the tips, and these are things that I talked about when I shared that story about the date that I had gone on, and that I stood up the whole was it 2 hours, 2.5 hours of our date, and my feet were killing me, my body was tired. I disappointed myself in that date, but I also said to myself, I'm never going to put myself or anyone else in this position where I didn't at least do my work and know what I was getting into before I got there. And so I've been able to rely on a few things along the way just to give me an idea of what to expect. I can't always go, beforehand. If you can drive past, you can go, then wonderful. But we can't always do that. And so here's some of the things that I use, the tools, I guess you would say, that I use. Look at this holographic. Like that. Why don't I do that tongue thing? A lot of sexiness with it. Anyway, and here's some of the tools that I use to just kind of find out if the venue is going to be okay before I get there. I'm going to share my screen. I hope that you're going to be able to see it in the video. And I am going to, what do I have on my screen? Here. Let's go here. And so here I just was looking for a photo from my background, and you see that. So this is what I did. And can I move this out the way? Let's go down. Let's put it down there. Okay. So I start with Google. Google is all of our friends, right? Google has a lot that we can use, and especially when you're trying to decide if you're going to go out. So I use Google a lot. Just if somebody says, hey, let's go to such and such a, then I say, okay, let me get back to you. I got to think about it. Or let me see if it'll work for me. What day you want to go? On Thursday? Okay, well, let me just see if it'll work for me, and I'll hit you back. And then I start doing the work. And sometimes I do it while we're on the phone even, or if they're texting me, and I can just go to Google immediately. Somebody mentioned the other day this place. Let me see. There it is. Bury the Hatchet, Atlanta. So apparently it's for axe throwing. Yep, I guess it's a thing. People are throwing axes, not at other people's heads, which is probably safer. I got some axes that I could have knocked the head off, but here we are. And so when I'm looking at it, I go to Google first, and I'm always going to be looking for a few things. So I see where the address is, and I know I got some options. Here, I can already see that they have a nice outside view. So what I'm going to be looking for, one, is am I going to be able to just walk straight in? How many steps is it going to be to get into the place? When I get in there, is it going to be seating that can accommodate me? How far do I have to walk to the seating that accommodates you? Because sometimes they may have some regular chairs that are, maybe not so sturdy, but then they have those bench or sofa seatings, but they may be way in the back. So you got to walk past 500 people to get to the back. And then you got to think about when you come out, because sometimes I've been in places where they were empty almost when we came in, and you just got the lay of the land. You can go straight through and you don't have a problem. But when you're coming out and now it's rush hour and the dinner rush is on and you've got all these people, now I got to figure out how I'm going to get out of here. And that is anxiety producing. If anybody's been in that situation, then you know what I mean. That when you come in, you're fine, and you get out and you look, and all of the seats are, backed up to each other. And now you got to figure out, can I squeeze through there? Am I going to knock somebody over? I've got to, am I going to take this table with me if I try to bring this big butt through there? And now what do I do? I'm so thankful that I have a friend. She's actually my sister now, Ken. Ken is really good. And the first time that I remember having a conversation with her and a few others about that, about just being able to figure out how I'm gonna get out of someplace, and she just jumps right into action. And she's like the perfect person if you want to go on one of those corn mazes. What is that what they call them? The mazes at Halloween time. She would know exactly what to do. You take Ken with you. Because what Ken says to me all the time, and we've been places, and when I'm scouting it out and I've kind of got a visual, she's already done it too. She's not supersized by any means. She keeps saying she want to be a juicy peach. She's probably more of a, a nice little apricot. But either way, she is a gem because she's an ally, because she understands, because it's important to her that when we're out that I'm comfortable. And those are the only kind of friends and family you need in your life. The ones that are going to be comfortable only if you're comfortable. The ones that are not going to say, oh, well, you'll be all right. You just stand there while they sit down comfortably. No, she's not like that. We were leaving a restaurant recently, and the restaurant again was sort of crowded when we came in, but we had a way. And I remember her saying, if you go straight and then turn left, we right at it. And I smiled to myself. I like that. And when we were coming out of the restaurant, it was a little bit more challenging. And she said, sis, why don't we make a left here and then just go straight up to the back and then make the right. And when I looked at it, she was absolutely right. She had mapped that out for me, and then I knew that I was going to be safe. And like I said, those are the friends and family that you want in your life. Those who understand that you have some unique needs, and that they have to look out for you if we're all going to be together. Because again, if we're a group and we're a team and we're out enjoying ourselves, then everybody has to be comfortable. And I don't have to make an excuse or apologize for my size or that I have these needs. Why? Because my needs are just as important as everybody else's. Your needs are just as important as everybody else's. You don't have to apologize. But you do have to make sure that you are with people who understand and people who care. Because if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're gonna, stay at home, and you don't have a right to be there. You got a right to be out enjoying your life. Certainly you got a right to be home. I'm not saying that, but you're not relegated to staying at home because you got some size, you need some size accommodations. No, absolutely not. You're supposed to be out. So here's bury the hatchet. So the first thing I do, I see that the places here, and sure, you can click on there, but that doesn't always help. This is about the frequently asked questions, the how it works, the axe throwing leagues. You can get all of that information. But what I want to see is the place. Sometimes you go in the website has a lot of great photos. My experience, most times they don't. They don't have what you need. So the first thing I click on is to see the venue. So when I look at this, I said, okay, this one says it was 5 years ago. I see where they're going to be throwing the axe, those kind of things. But even before that, because it said see outside, I would have clicked on that first, because it doesn't matter what the inside looking like if I can't get in. I got to see what the outside looks like. So I'm going to click on the outside here and see that first. So this parking lot, I see what the parking lot is like. So I know that it's not going to be an extensive walk. There are some spaces right in front of it. So where is it at? I'm going to use this, and I'm just clicking on it and just kind of doing a 360 here on this. This is Kudzu. The sipping plant is next door to it. Is this it? Yep. Bury the hatchet. So it's right down on this corner. So I see there's some spots in front of it. I'm looking at the step there. I see there where they have the little ramp there. Like they also have it here. So I know that there's a no step entry, that I can just do this ramp and get to this venue here. And so, okay, I feel good about that. And now what's it look like? What are they doing in here? And so I'm going to go through and look at the photos. And I can just go back to this one and then click here. And again, it's going to start to give me the photos. I see where they're throwing the axe. She flung that axe. Look at her. Go on, girl, with your bad self. And now I'm going to go down to this photo. And I see that they've sort of just got the picnic tables and the benches. So these are steel frames, and the benches pull out. So they're not huge, but again, they may work. They're not armed chairs, which I worry about. Um, and so they have this just in the seating area. But what else do they have? These are extra. Okay. Some happy people. I like seeing happy people out enjoying themselves. Okay, so they've got some sofas there. There's another armless chair there. So if you're just kind of sitting having a drink, maybe you don't want to throw axes, but you want to be a part of everybody else and enjoy the festivities and the camaraderie. So you'll sit down and have a soda or whatever, some nachos, and these are some sturdy couches. Okay. And that was 3 months ago. So that's something that we can count on. That was recent there. And then we can go down. Those are the outside picnic desks. They still picnic benches. Still got the benches, but it looks like it's the ones that just pull out for you. There's a bunch of space if you're in a chair that has wheels. You know that there's a lot of space that you can get around. So that should be fine. And we saw the ramp coming in. So again, some happy smiling faces. I like the team efforts. All right, you may not want to throw axes, but you can play a little Jenga here. Is this Jenga? Well, let's see if he gonna. Ooh, he was safe. Safe, buddy. All right. So you can play a little Jenga. So they've got some other things there. And so this gives you a really good idea about what the place looks like, what kind of space is there. Can I get my wheelchair in if I'm in a wheelchair? Do I have a place to sit when I get in? Is it going to be a long walk? It didn't look like that. So that's going to give you some really good information. And that was a lot of the topics there. When you're going up, I always look at the headers here, the latest, which ones were the most recent. Because sometimes I've been there where I've clicked on something and saw it, and then I got there and it was something totally different. And I had to go back and realize, oh, that was 5 years ago. So this was 5 years ago. It might have changed everything in 5 years. But then we looked at the other one and it had only been 3 months ago. So that's a little bit helpful. This one says Street View and 360. So you know that this is going to be out on the outside. I always look for there's one that says Vibe, and we'll find one that says Vibe to look at. Whenever I see the one that says Vibe, I click on that one because the Vibe is usually going to tell you what the inside looks like, what's the mood, what the seating looks like. That's the one that you really want to hone in on when you're looking for someplace. What is the vibe? Somebody asked about Steak Market earlier today. Steak Market, am I doing it? Atlanta. It's supposed to be a great restaurant, expensive, but sort of fun and kitschy in a way. And that it had a really good, they had good steaks, but they also were great for celebrations. And I have a friend who loves steaks. Everybody loves steaks but me. I'm not a steak eater. I don't eat a lot of beef. I love oxtails, but they cost so much. I don't know if I'll eat them again in this lifetime. God bless them. But I'm not a steak eater. But I have a friend who is. And when I was looking for a place to take the friend for a birthday celebration, everybody mentioned Steak Market. You got to go there. Oh, it's so good. They got these 24 karat gold steaks, and I don't know why you need that, but okay. But I said, okay, well, let me look at it. So right here, the first thing we see is See Outside. So we can go there, but we went there the last time. So I'm gonna look and see if they got a vibe. So we're gonna go to right here where it says See Photos. And then all of the choices here, all latest menu. And you'll see that a lot when it's the restaurant. So you can find out what's on the menu, what the prices look like, food and drink, all of those are good. But here's the one that I'm looking for. Bingo, the vibe. Tell me what the inside looks like. What is the vibe? And so from the first thing 2 weeks ago, I see this vibe by the bar. And so you see the bar stools and you see some chairs right there and they're armchairs, and that's good. But what else is my looking for? What is the vibe of this restaurant? And right here is what makes me smile. Hey, they got a space for me, baby. so that I can put these hips on there and sit comfortably. They've got a nice sofa, bench seating. I think these are also called, what's the other word they call for them? Can't think of it right now, but there's another. It'll come to me later. But when they have these, it's okay. I know that these are going to be comfortable for me. It's going to be comfortable for Juicy Peaches because it's going to allow us to spread out, that we're not squeezing in between a seat that has arms, that it's going to be sturdy. We're not worried about the seat coming from under us. And those are things that would keep us from going out. So this was a year ago. It's okay. I can see that. I also see that they have some chairs that are on the other side. Looks like they do have arms, but they're the half arms. So if you've got some hips, you still should be able to fit in those chairs. You know, depending on what your size is, you may or may not feel comfortable there. But there are others that are in our parties that would go and feel comfortable. So this would be something that I say, okay, well, this look good, but how far do I have to walk to get to this part? So that's what I would want to continue to look at. How far do I walk to get to there? And is that the only seating that would accommodate? Well, here was also a year ago, so this may be a different side of the restaurant. We also see that they've got some bench seating back here. And these chairs that are armless, but they are more bench seating. It looks like this might be an upstairs area because of this banister or railing here. We see on the outside there, when you look at that, the guy's walking down some stairs or about to. So we know that there are stairs on the entrance, it looks like. But is there a stepless entrance? That's one thing we're going to be wanting to look at. Again, we see that there are some more of the bench, or bankhead is the word I was looking for, the bankhead seating that's there. So this has been really helpful when we're looking at that. Is that Big Tigger over there? Looks like he's been visiting. So when I say we just look at the vibe, it gives us a lot of information about the vibe. Now, I don't know how much this drink is that they got here, but I bet it's got a cost to it. But this vibe, again, really, really informative for us. Again, there's another area, looks like it might be a private VIP area that also has some more seating. So if you were thinking about doing something private there, you would be looking to see, okay, this could work too. So several different options there. More happy people, another private room, definitely more happy people. So again, another private area, but also more of the bankhead seating. So that's an important aspect of it. And so if you're out looking, always look for the vibe. And so it's gonna tell you a lot about the inside. We didn't go outside before, but let's do it now. So here's the outside of it. And I'm just gonna scroll around. I think that was the restaurant, this S&M Steak Market there. And it looks like those were those stairs that we talked about, because there's that phone booth. So those were the stairs that we talked about coming in, and it looks like they're on both sides. People are driving here, so I don't know if there's another entrance there or not, because both of these appear to be stairs. So the question would then be, if we can't find it out here, that's when you got to make the call and ask, is there a stepless entry? Because we don't have a way of seeing it here, so we don't know. Now we can go on the other side, doesn't show us an entrance on this side. So that's the only entrance that side. So we would have to ask the question. Here's a restaurant here. What restaurant is this? Yeah, I do a lot of that. What else is in the neighborhood? So I know when I get there, I'm in the right place. But what else is in the neighborhood? And what does it look like? And this restaurant is a lot of stairs. Siva's Grill and Hookah Bar. Okay. And so, of course, this is not accessible because they got 10 stairs to get in that one. But at least we found that out too. So if somebody asks you about it, you already know what it looks like there at the Hookah Bar. Okay. I like a good hooker. That's what my uncle would say. I don't like a good hooker. Yeah. So again, so that's a way that I use. I always start with Google to see what I can find out with Google. And when you're looking for the vibe, those are going to be at restaurants, those are going to be at nightclubs, those are going to be at some of your entertainment venues. It'll show you the vibe, and when you get in, you'll be able to see the seats. You're going to look outside for the doors. And if you can't, if they don't have an outside, see outside, then all you're going to do is just copy this address. You got that address right here. And you're going to copy and paste that address. You're going to pop that right in there. And there you go. It's going to give you the street there. So we're going to get right back to where we were, but we had the street address now. So once we pop that in, it shows us exactly where we were before. And you can, kind of scroll around the block, see what's happening, where parking is, that kind of thing. So if it's not there, just use all your resources. You got the address, play with it. And of course, you can always, I'm trying to be brief because I want to show you some other stuff, but you can always kind of put these in. Now, this is just going to give us the address. We'll see. Here is, this is when it was for sale. The restaurant was for sale. I was trying to see if they were going to give us. So that's sort of the entrance there, and it's going to be up those stairs. Wow. So even it looks like, but this was when it was for sale. We don't know what happened since then, but this is the way that the entrance was here. I don't see an accessible entrance. I only see stairs, but it's still worth the question to ask. Is there a stepless entry, or is everything going to be this when I get there? Okay. And then it will tell you. But Google has a way for you to kind of figure out everything. And what you can't figure out, you got to make the call, and you got to be able to ask the question. Because if you don't ask the question, one, you're never going to know. And then you're going to sit out some places that you didn't have to. Because they could very well say, oh, yes, it's on such and such a street. Don't come on Juniper, go on the next street on Willow Springs. And I'm just coming up with that as a name. And then you'll use that entrance. And then you're going to go and may enjoy the restaurant. It may become your favorite restaurant. So use that tool when you're looking at restaurants, entertainment venues, nightclubs, things like that. It's going to be real helpful to your just decision-making process, deciding whether or not this is going to be something that's going to work for you. Now, if you're going to, let's say, a stadium, or you've been invited to a graduation or a concert, and you want to see if this was going to work for you, that is not going to help you. You're not going to get a whole lot with the vibe there because you're just not. Sometimes you can, see it, and people have photos that they've taken, and you can kind of find your way. But I like to use this. It's called a view from my seat. And a view from my seat is basically people who have been to the concerts or to these venues, and they've taken a picture where they were sitting. And when they did that, they allow you to see the area or the view that they have. And what they were doing is just to let you know, this is what view. So if you were going to the Adele concert or the Lizzo concert, and you were excited to get out there and see Lizzo, my girl Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly, is on concert now and on tour, and you wanted to get there and see Jilly, and you said, well, these tickets are $700 for here, but they're $500 for here. What am I going to see from the 500 seat versus the 700 seat? So you go to something like this, to a view from my seat, and then you look for wherever the venue is going to be. And you just see if somebody has posted something. Now, everybody doesn't always post anything from their seat, so you may not have anything from it. But if you do, you can kind of take a look and see. So I just clicked on this one. It's Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. And we've got several different views here. This is one of the major ones. This is Section 9, Row J, Seat 56. So this is what the seat looks like. It's got some space in between these seats, but does this armrest go up? That's one of the things that I would be wanting to know. Does the armrest go up? Now, you're not going to get that from this venue, from looking at this photo, but you will be able to get that from the ticket office, or if you call a venue. But here you can even decide if this is something that would work for you. So you see that, and then you go backwards and you look on the side. So you've got all of these people that got events coming up. This is what's happening here. But what else has been filmed here? What else? Who else has been there? So you got the first level, the second level. Has anybody taken pictures there? Yeah, they have. Look at the second level. They've got these plastic seats here. I'm sure they're sturdy, but how do they work? Down here on the first one, they've got those dreaded white chairs. Okay, nobody panic. I'm gonna get right off of those. That's the last thing we want to see. Here we got some other chairs. There's a juicy peach. We had a couple of peaches sitting in some chairs back there. And so that's going to be closer to the stage. So I bet they paid a little more. And I might have got there and been ready to cry when I got there and saw those seats. But they're doing their best right now. I hope it held up for them. But at least you get to see exactly what you're working with in these sections. And so a view from my seat is going to be really helpful there. So here they got, different concerts. You got the teams. So if you're going to your Kansas City Royals statement, Chicago Cubs, go Cubbies. You can just go click on all of those and see what those stadiums look like and how the seats are. So you get an idea of what you're going to be working with there. These are where I was at initially, was the venue. And you can search a venue. You can put in, I don't know, what's in Grand Ole Opry? I don't know. If I can type, we can probably get it in. Grand Ole Opry House. Let's put that in. Dolly Parton's people. There we go. Let's see what we come up with then. Okay. So here's the Grand Ole Opry House. Oh, wow. Well, get out of here. So they just have like the church benches. Let's make it a little bigger. Yeah, so they just have like the church benches. Well, there's some people sitting there on those. Those are probably the accessible seatings for the wheelchair. They have just regular chairs. She's in a regular chair. Can I make that bigger? I don't think so. But these are just like so this is the upstairs, the balcony. That's of course the stage and the ground floor, but those are just like the church benches. So those are really going to be easy because of course there is nothing that's hindering you. You can just sit and sit comfortably there. So that's a good thing. So this would make me smile if I was going to the Grand Ole Opry. Hey, I can get in there and be comfortable and just enjoy a nice time. So I love that. So this again is one of the things that I use. It's a viewfrommyseat.com, and I love it. I'm going to put the link in the about for this video. So make sure that you hold on to this and use it whenever you need to. There it is. So somebody posted this. Seat 11 is tagged with. This has awesome sound, has extra leg room, is on the aisle, is padded. And so apparently, of course, they do have the seat numbers there, but I can imagine that they would be a lot more accommodating because, of your sizes, and everybody has a different size. So people expect to be touching the next person. So that's sort of a given. And my guess is that they don't have as many people in these seats as you would the individual, just, sectioned out for them because of that. And it's the same way with one of the outdoor venues here in Atlanta that I like. It's not bench seating. They have individual, well, it is bench seating. It's outdoors. And so it's a fun time for everybody, and everybody's really just kind of cool and casual about it. So this would be a fun spot. So think about a view from my seat when you're going to venues or theaters. And again, they have theaters, concerts, other events. I don't know if I've ever used this. Oh, circus, golf, martial arts, monster trucks. So it would still be just the different venues, I would think. But I guess if you put it in Deontay Wilder, Andre Ward, Andre Berto, this boxing. So if you're going to some of the boxing events or to the circus, the Big Apple Circus, Ringling Brothers is not, I thought Ringling Brothers was going. Maybe this is just old. Either way, what happened to Universal Circus? Either way, you've got several options. So play with it. Be sure to use it the next time that you're going to be out and that you're going to be enjoying or want to enjoy a night out. Use these resources. Don't just sit it out. Don't overthink it. I ain't gonna be able to go. I don't think I've seen that on television. Use the resources and see if there's a possibility that this would work for you. And if you've used all the resources and you feel like you still don't know and you're still iffy, just drop me a line, send me an email. Let me help you. I'll make some calls for you and let's ask the questions so that you can get out and enjoy life. Because sitting home, you're wasting so much time that you can be having great experiences. And I don't want that. I don't want that at all. The last resource that I wanted to share here today, I just stumbled on it and I was blown away. Not because I haven't done a whole lot with the site yet. It is because I think I may have told you that I've been working on sort of a directory of places that are size friendly. And it's been a painstaking process, but what I know about life is that when you have something, a good thought, somebody else has one too. And I'm so glad to see whoever friendly like me is, whoever is behind this, I love them. I love them because they brought it to fruition, because they put it out there and they started it. And I am going to be, I don't know if they have top fans like on Facebook, but I'm going to be their top fan and their top contributor because I believe in this. I believe in us having a directory or a directory, that's the bottom line, that we can go to of experiences that we can share, that we can say, this place is perfect. This place is going to be accommodating. You're not going to feel out of place here. You're going to feel welcome. You're going to be able to sit. It's going to be comfortable for you so that it takes a lot of the guesswork out. Is it going to take everything away? No. But is it going to make you feel good about being there, about at least attempting? It should. It should. And that's the information that I want to share. And I'm glad that they're doing it. The one thing I will say that when I first opened it up, I smiled because I see me. I see some juicy bodies, some pretty smiles, some happy people, and I love it. They're obviously looking at their app. This is the web version, but they do have an app for this. So just consider the app if you want, like to have it on your phone, if you're really good about that. If you're somebody that just has a desktop, you want to be able to see everything, then use the web version. It's got a search feature, so I'm certain if you put in your area or locate me, it's going to find things in your area. The good thing about this, and that's where it says download the app or use the web version, is that it's looking for people like us to share their experiences. And it's the thing that I think that we're missing as a community most. We're not doing it enough. We are suffering in silence and we are holding all of the good stuff in. We've got to come out of that. If you're at home trying to figure out if something is going to work and you get there and it works, tell other people so that they can go and it works for them too. Don't just think that you were the only one who had those questions, because you're not. We're not. Make sure you share those. Juicy Peaches is 400 members, and the group itself, the followers more, but the group. And I often am just like begging. If you go there, how was it? Well, write it down, share it, everybody, post about it. And I hear people saying, oh, I went to this. Well, what nail salon did you go to? I went to this one and it was fine. But why didn't you tell us? Tell us, post it, show us. We want to know. This gives it an opportunity for everybody to tell us, show us. We want to know where we can go. Where can I go and feel comfortable? Where can I go and just enjoy and not feel like I've got to climb 50 stairs to get there, or be disappointed when I get there and they have a turnstile entrance? If there's a turnstile, let me know. This isn't gonna work. Or if it looked great in Google, but what Google didn't show me was that I had to go up a hill and down another one in order to get to the place. And then when I got to the valley, I had to climb 10 stairs. Please tell us that. And this app gives us the opportunity to do that. It gives you all of the information here. You can set your location to find nearby places quick and easy. You can personalize it. You build a profile. Tell us what amenities you need. If you need wheelchair accessible, if you need just no step entries, if you need whatever the choices are, just tell them. And then a review. Let business owners know how accessible you found their place. If you are a business, you can put it here. Tell us how friendly your business is. And it's got all of the features. Accessibility. Was the interior accessible? Was the restroom accessible? Was the entrance accessible? Parking. All of those things that are great to know and are must-haves. Look at this silhouette with these curvy bodies. Yes, you better, curvy couple. I love it. Those things, these are important. And look at all of these juicy bodies. I just love it. They've got a Facebook community. I didn't know that. Power chair users, spaces access, yes. Because then one of the things that we were just looking at, I can't, was it the axe throwing? Is when I said, if you're in a chair, then you've got enough space to get through the aisles. It's those power chairs, but also these powerful hips. We got to be able to get through those aisles too. And so that's going to be important. That's the access that we need. And so this site looks really, really good. I'm going to spend some time on it later. I am going to log in a couple of places that I've been, and I want everybody to know that it's accessible or that it wasn't. And I'm going to get to know this friendly like me, because I want others like me to see the places that are size friendly for them. So whoever created this, I want to thank them. I love them for doing this, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And I'm going to do it continuously. I've been watching another, and I'll bring that back later, another a company who is, or a grassroots organization that is putting together a physician's directory for health at any size and every size. So I love that. I'll bring them back later once theirs is up. I've got some stuff to add to theirs because it's important. But more importantly, it's important that we get out, that we stop just settling or accepting that we're not going to be comfortable, and we start making sure that people know we deserve to be comfortable. So we got to get out. So I stopped to share because I wanted to just come back to you just to say that, because that is important. You deserve to be out. You deserve to enjoy life. You don't have to make excuses for your size. I'm not making excuses for mine ever, not for any reason, because nobody has to make excuses for living, for being. It is our right. We have a right to be on this earth. We have a right to take up whatever space we need. And you have a right to enjoy life. A lot of people look at us and they look at fat people and think that we're just supposed to be miserable. We're supposed to be at home with a pint of ice cream, feeling sad and watching Country Wayne or whatever and just willing our life away. No, we can have our pint of ice cream outside with everybody else, sitting in front of Brewster's and Baskin Robbins, enjoying life. I ain't saying I don't eat ice cream, because I do. I love it. But I don't have to sit home and do it. I can be outside, people watching and enjoying eat my ice cream too. Everybody else is eating their ice cream. Why shouldn't we? We don't apologize. Don't give them we're all so sad and lonely. We're not. We're going to be out enjoying life and smiling and happy like everybody else. And I'm going to do everything I can to get you out there. everything I can. So count on me to do everything I said I was going to do. And if you need me to do more, reach out. I'm willing to do it. We got a great cruise coming up in 2024, y'all. SSBBW cruise. I'm gonna come back and tell you everything about it. But in the meantime, you can look at the link on this page on the About section. I hate that I keep disappearing here. You can look at the link on the About section. It'll tell you about it. But just know that I worked really hard to make sure that this cruise was SSBBW friendly. So grab some SSBBWs you know, share this video and others with every SSBBW, every BBW you know, and let them know that Juicy Peaches is working for you and that we're going to make life accessible so that we can live it abundantly. I'll see you next week. I will be back next week. You have a good time.